This is something that the e-commerce and dropshipping community never talk about, but is extremely, extremely important. What's up, you guys? My name is Jaden and welcome back to the YouTube channel. I appreciate each and every single one of you guys for coming back for yet another video. Today is going to be a hot topic. We're going to be talking about payment processing. I feel like payment processing isn't really talked about enough, and it's extremely important, and you could be saving up to thousands of dollars if you know exactly what you should be looking for. So if you're excited for today's video, be sure to go ahead and drop a like. That lets me know that you guys are enjoying the content here on the channel, and also hit that subscribe button and let me know in the comment section what you guys want to see from me in the future. I really appreciate all the feedback that I got on my previous video. It's something new that I'm trying where I am going to be talking about topics that other entrepreneurs and other people in the space just aren't speaking about, but are still very important. So I hope you guys do appreciate that. And without further ado, let's get right into the video. All right, so for those of you that don't know what a payment processor is, a payment processor is basically what allows you or your Shopify store to be able to accept payments. So a lot of you guys will have either Shopify payments or you'll have PayPal tied to your store, but you won't know exactly what goes on the back end as far as fees and other things like that. You could be saving thousands of dollars if you know exactly what you're looking for. Now, the first thing that you're going to want to do is you're going to find a company that's going to accept your business. Now, by what I mean by your business is it all depends on the type of products that you're selling. So for me, for example, I got my first taste of success selling supplements, and I sold a Garcinia Cambogia pill. So basically, this is a high-risk supplement, and you won't be able to accept this on Shopify payments because they just don't accept it. Literally, if I was to tie this to my store and start selling this right now, I would get shut down within a matter of a few days. So you definitely don't want that to happen. This is exactly why you're going to reach out to some of these companies. Now, the companies that I like to use or that I've used in the past are Authorize.net and Zen Payments. Both of these companies will allow you to process high-risk products. Now, that's not the only reason why you're going to want to go ahead and get yourself a processor, not just because only you have a high-risk product, but you're also going to want to get a processor just for the simple fact that you're going to be saving money on fees. So if you were to look right now on your Shopify store and you go to your Shopify plan, you're going to see different plans. There's a $29.99 plan, there's a $79 plan, and I think there's like a $100 plan or something like that. Each one of those plans, if you're looking, the more that you spend monthly on Shopify, the better rates that you're going to be getting. So the starter basic plan, I believe, starts at 2.9%. So that's something that you can base your research off of and be like, okay, I'm getting 2.9% here on Shopify payments. Let me see what I can go out and get from a third-party vendor. Let me see if I can get 2.7% or 2.5%. Now, this is all going to depend on your history. It's going to depend on how long you've been processing payments for. So don't expect to be getting this, crazy rates if you just started and you're definitely, and if you're selling a high-risk supplement, because it's never going to happen. Also, another reason that you're going to need a payment processor is because Stripe and Shopify payments are only going to allow you to scale so far. And once you reach those caps, that's it. They're going to turn you off. So you're going to need a backup processor so that way you can flip that on and you can continue processing payments. So now that you chose your payment processor and you found the company that you want to go with, first you're going to have to apply. Now, what are you going to need to be able to apply for your processor? So the first thing that you're going to need is an LLC. You're going to have to make sure that your business is legitimately filed. You're going to have your LLC documented. Next thing that you're going to need is your EIN number or your tax ID number. And thirdly, what you're going to need is processing statements. A lot of you guys that are watching this video don't have recent processing history, so you're not going to have these. So what you're going to need instead of this is banking statements. So you're going to need bank statements, and you're going to need a business bank account that matches your LLC. So you're going to have to either give them access to this. It just depends on your credit. There's a lot of things that go into this. So depending on your credit, the underwriters will have to ask you more questions. They'll ask you for more things. They're going to go through everything. They're going to go through your website. They're going to go through your LLC, make sure that you're legit. They're going to make sure that you're compliant. So for me, if I'm selling, supplements, they're going to make sure that I don't have crazy claims on my website, that I have a phone number in my footer, that I have an address in my footer of my website. They're going to be checking all of these things, and they have a system. They basically put your website into the system and it spits out everything that is wrong. And then you're going to have to fix this before you ever get approved. So now that you have all those things in place, the next step in the process is your contract, and for you to be able to see exactly what they can offer you. So I have a list of things right here written down. You're gonna wanna read the fine print of your contract, okay? What I've learned from payment processing is that some of these companies are it's a little bit of a gray area. It's kind of something that I believe that is, can be a little scammy in my opinion, because a lot of people don't know these things. They don't know about the specific fees, and there's fees for everything when it comes to this stuff, guys. So like, a lot of the times they'll put it in the fine print and people don't read it, and then they're wondering why they're getting charged so much when they're looking at their statements at the end of the month. So make sure you're reading your fine print. Things that you're going to want to look for in the fine print. You're going to want to look for volume increases. So when you get approved for your processor is going to give you a certain monthly cap that you can reach. So let's just say, for example, your monthly cap is 50K. Once you reach 50K in processing, you cannot process anymore. They will shut the processor down, which is why you're going to need more and more backups of these. Now, they do allow increases. You can ask them for an increase, but it's not always promised. And sometimes in the contract, it'll say, hey, we're firm on this. This is what we're going to give you, and there's no more increases, and that's that, which is why you're going to want to have multiple backups. Now, your rolling reserve. Rolling reserve is basically what they're gonna be holding. So for me, for supplements, you're gonna get the highest percentage because it's a high risk product, right? So my rolling reserve is 10%. So they're gonna be taking 10% of all the funds that I earn, and they're gonna hold it for 180 days, and then they will slowly release it. That is their way of basically having security, just in case. Let's just say I go out and I have, $20,000 worth of transactions for selling supplements, and all of a sudden 2 weeks later every single person leaves a chargeback. That rolling reserve is basically their safety blanket for them allowing you to process with them. So you're gonna wanna know what your rolling reserve is, and you need to understand what that is, because a lot of people will start processing, then they're wondering why they're not getting all the money, and they're not realizing that they had a rolling reserve the entire time. So some other niches that would be considered high risk besides supplements, I just wanna give you guys a couple more examples, is travel, CBD, hemp. All of these types of businesses are all considered high risk. Now, the next thing that you're going to look for is your contract. Now, a lot of the times these payment processing companies will put in the fine print that, okay, you're locked into a contract, and that is definitely something that you don't want. You want something where you can start processing with them, you can test them out, because not every payment processor is gonna be good. You wanna be able to test these companies out. Just because they're legit doesn't mean that they're also going to be the best to work with. So you wanna make sure that they don't have a long-term contract, and that at any point in time that you're not satisfied or you wanna move on, that you can do so. And lastly, what you're gonna wanna be looking for on this contract is your chargeback fee. So each processor is gonna have their own fee associated with chargebacks. And a lot of business owners don't understand the severity of a chargeback, and you should be thinking of it as almost a penalty. So if you have a business that's getting a bunch of chargebacks right now, probably you should probably fix that part of your business before you go ahead and start, applying for processors, because a lot of them don't have, a high tolerance for this stuff. If you have a lot of chargebacks, they will shut you down, or if they see that prior to the onboarding process, they probably won't even approve you, okay? So a lot of these, or most of these processors have a fee associated with that. So let's just say, for example, the fee was $20 and I got a chargeback for $20, okay? So I'm gonna lose that $20 initially from the chargeback, and then your processor is gonna take another $20 to cover that chargeback. And a lot of the times people will think that they're gonna get that money back. No, they don't have to give you that money back, and it kind of just depends, case by case. But majority of the time, they will not give you that $20 back. So you do not want chargebacks. The best thing that you can do to be able to solve this is make sure that your support side of your business is top notch. You need to make sure that you have a bunch of customer service reps that are constantly answering emails, constantly monitoring inboxes, and making sure that they're solving your customers' needs as quickly as possible. Also, keep in mind that your payment processor, a lot of the times, they don't even have control over that. Visa and MasterCard are always monitoring these chargebacks, and they can shut you down. And a lot of times, it may not even be the processor. It may just be Visa, MasterCard themselves. So yeah, that's gonna do it for this video. I hope you guys did enjoy and that you learned something and took some value from it. If you did, be sure to go ahead and drop a like. It's greatly appreciated, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I hope this gave you some sort of insight to the back end really of e-commerce and what that entails, and how you can better prepare yourself and know exactly what you need to get as far as payment processing goes. So that's gonna do it again for this video. I appreciate you guys for watching, and I will see you guys in next week's video.